Hey, Steph.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Bariatric Banter Podcast.
I don't even know what number this is anymore.
18. I
18.
checked before we started because I was like,
Good for
I
you.
also don't remember.
I did not. Clearly, I did not.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
coming hot off the heels of having Bypass Cass on.
Oh my God, that was so much fun.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was
Like,
so much fun.
it was just good to chat with her. And like, guys, we're not even gonna lie, we're gonna like fangirl over that for weeks, but we think we made a friend and we're gonna hang
Yeah,
out
we
with
did.
her. And
We're gonna go out for dinner. I was just she posted us something on her stories the other day about doing like a community or like a virtual meetup or something. And so I messaged her and we were chatting and I just said, like, I love this idea, da da da. And then we got down the spiral. And then again, we brought up how we have to have dinner, the three of us, because we
yes.
just have so much to talk to. But yeah, we have to have her back again
Me
because
too.
I love the fact that she's also in Ontario. I
Yes.
love the fact that she had bypassed, so she has a bit of a different outview. I can't even talk today. Outlook on things.
Yes.
She has a bit of a different experience. She's a different clinic, but overarching similarities.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we have to have her again because she was super fun, and I feel like we could have talked to her for hours.
Hours. Hours. She's great. So thanks for tuning into that one. Let us know what episode you want us to bring her back on to talk about next. But just know she'll probably be a frequent guest that we bring back onto this old
Yeah,
podcast.
I love it.
Um, I'm excited for today's topic because we wanted to like have fun. Like body dysmorphia is a heavy topic, and I'm so happy we covered it and found ways to make it funny and throw jokes in. But yeah, Steph and I were like, okay, let's do something, I don't know, something kind of light,
Lighter.
something that we're passionate about. So
Yep.
we actually wanted to do the top 10 things we wish we both knew before bariatric surgery.
Hey,
And yeah, we sat down and tried to like cutting it down to 10 things, guys, was
hard.
very hard. So I was like, but what about this? And what about that?
What
We've
about
covered
this?
other things on the podcast, so we took those off the list. But I think we got it down to a really good 10 that we want to cover. And so this episode is for anybody freaking out before surgery or wondering if surgery is the right move for them. Like, we're going to unpack the top 10 things that we wish someone had told the two of us before
Yeah.
we underwent surgery. That just, yeah, I think is good to hear before surgery. Good to hear
Yeah.
if you're even if you're post-op, listen to this, or if you're debating bariatric surgery,
Yep.
it's going to be a good episode.
Take them into consideration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The top 10 things we wish we knew before bariatric surgery. Here's the question, Steph. Do we start with 10 and work our way up, or do we start with 1 and work our way down? Because
Let's
these are
go
not
10 to 1.
10 to 1.
Let's go 10 to
Okay.
1.
All right. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think 1 is the most important one. So, okay.
Yeah.
Number 10.
Here we go.
This isn't the end of your journey, it's the beginning.
So true.
I think it's a good one.
I really like that one because I feel like you think all of the appointments and the waiting and all of that is the journey, and
Yes.
then the surgery feels like the finish line. It feels like the end goal. But
Yep.
you have no idea, not that you don't have an idea of what's to come, but I don't think going into surgery, you fully understand the amount of changes that are coming your way, the amount of
Yeah.
mind shifts, physical, like you just don't get it until you're in it and until you experience it. And
Yeah.
there's so much more on the other side.
Exactly. And like you hear us say this all the time, surgery is just a tool. It's a tool. It's not a magic wand, it's not a fairy godmother, it's a tool. So you're still doing all this hard work.
Yeah.
So sitting and having the surgery is not the end of your weight loss journey at
That's the
all.
easy part.
It is literally the first step. It is the beginning of so many highs and lows, way more highs than you'll
Yeah.
ever have lows, but like just a new way of living and doing. And surgery is just simply the start of that journey, not
Yeah.
the end. And you're going to do it with support and a community behind you and lots of other things. But yeah, this isn't leading up to surgery is not the journey, and surgery is not the finish line. It's called the loser's bench. So if you ever
Yeah.
hear us comment that, it's not that we're calling you a loser. The loser's bench is like you're finally being called up because it's time for you to start losing the weight. You're now on the loser's bench. So yeah, think about it that way, that it's not the end of a journey. It's really the
It's the
beginning of
beginning.
a ton of new things for you.
It's the beginning of a whole new you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I
I
love.
agree. I agree. Because I
Number
did not look at it that way before.
No, I didn't either. I was like, "Oh, I'm done." Like, it
Right.
was a year in the program, and now I can have surgery, and, like, then I'm done.
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, the lead up to surgery is 1%. The
Yeah.
99%
Is
starts
after.
the day you leave that hospital. So, yeah, it is not the end of a journey at all. It is literally the beginning of the next step.
Mhm. Agreed.
Number
Agreed.
9,
Oh, this one hits me today, let me tell you.
the scale won't always move,
No,
but
it'll go up.
your body
Can
is.
you tell can you tell I'm bitter about this today?
I know.
It'll go up.
It
No, and
will.
this always happens. I started a new workout program. It's
Yep.
intense. And again, this is where like I message Hannah all the time. And I know that it's not scientifically possible to gain 2 pounds overnight from being when you're in a calorie deficit. But from what's today, Thursday? From Tuesday to Thursday, the scale has gone up 2.2 pounds,
Wow.
right? So, number one, not cool.
No.
Not cool. But that's
Normal?
when like normal 100%. And I
100%.
know for myself, anytime I start a new program, anytime I do something new, anytime I change up my workouts, anytime I
Mhm.
change up my food for the first few days,
Mhm.
it goes up. And I also had 4 3 or 4 days of big whooshes before this.
Yep.
So I also know that anytime that happens, I go up.
Yep.
Um, but the scale will either, like it says, not always move.
Not
Some
always
days you'll be the same weight or within like 1.1 or 2 for days, or it'll go up. And that's when you have to remind yourself of all of the mental things. And that's when I message Hannah, and
Yep.
Hannah has to remind me that it is not possible when you're only eating 800 calories a day to
Correct.
gain 2 pounds overnight. It's
Exactly.
water weight, it's inflammation, it's
Yep.
your muscles, it's all of those things,
Everything. Remember too, like you're gonna have surgery. You're gonna stand on the scale a few days after surgery and probably have gained weight. And then you're gonna be like, what in the
right?
fuck? Yeah, you
Oh, that
just
was the
finished your
worst.
surgery. Your
Yeah.
organs are inflamed, your muscles are inflamed, your
You're
stomach is still
swollen. They pumped you full of air.
yourself.
Yeah.
The scale won't always move, but your body is. So,
Yes.
what we mean by that is inches lost is far more important than pounds dropped.
Yeah.
Because you have to remember, you're always
My
going
God,
to have
yeah.
loose skin until you choose to get rid of it or keep it, whatever.
Yep.
We'll cover that in an episode. But you'll always have loose skin, and that's weight. You'll have water weight. You'll have weight before your period. You'll have hormonal fluctuations. You'll have
Yep.
muscles. Muscles weigh way more than fat. So as you become a more healthy, active person and you start working out every day, which for a lot of us was not the case before surgery,
Mhm.
because now you have to put in a minimum of 30 minutes a day. Yeah, you're gaining muscle that you never
Yeah.
had before and it weighs more. So that's why progress
Swelling
pictures will
factor.
become your best friend. Having photos to look at, that'll hype you the fuck up.
Mhm.
Inches lost is always important. But even
Yep.
2 years post op, I still message Steph going, God damn it, I can't get the scale to go anywhere. And then all of a sudden, and it feels like all of a sudden, but really the truth is I kept to my exercise routine and I ate what I
Consistency.
need to eat. Boom, there go those 4 pounds that I could not get rid of, which yay, by the way, Steph, I finally cracked it. I'm
Love
fine.
it.
I'm not in the 160s yet, but I'm like a pound
Right?
away and I
You
can't
just gotta it's consistency.
yes.
Consistency, consistency all the way.
But it's
And the pictures. I'm so bad at that.
pictures.
And the days when I have like today when I step on the scale and I say inappropriate words under my breath are the days when I should go do that. And so for me, um this app, I'm not affiliated with this app in any way, but there's an app called Me 360, like
Yeah.
THREE 60. And it'll do a full body scan of you. And then it will take your measurements for you. And then you can compare them in a chart week over week or whatever you want. So I've been using that and I'm actually due. I've been doing it, I've been trying to do it on a monthly basis. Um, but I should have done it today after I had that scale incident because that's when you get that kind of smack in the face of let's be real here,
Yes.
things are moving in the right
Things are
direction.
moving in the right direction. You
Yeah.
have to understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint,
Yeah.
and this is a marathon for life, not a sprint. You're not probably not going to hit that goal weight in your first year. It's totally fine if you hit it within 3 years. I am
Yeah.
still working towards my goal weight, and I
Yeah.
yeah, still get discouraged, but then remind myself like I'm still very early into this
It's a
journey.
journey.
The bigger thing is that I am moving my body. The bigger thing is just that who cares what the scale says? I need to continue to move my body because I know eventually it will do what I need it to do. I'm eating in a calorie deficit, I'm following
Yep.
my meal plan, and I'm exercising. I know that this will continue if I move my
Yep.
body, but giving up is not the answer. So, number 9, the scale won't always move, but your body is. Inches lost is more important than pounds dropped.
Agreed. Yep.
Number 8.
Ugh.
This one,
This one is driving me bonkers right now.
yeah, I think this is like this. I remember this one. Number 8. Nothing fits right during the in between phase.
Yep.
And it doesn't. You're either going to
Everything
feel
does.
frumpy dumpy or
Yep.
you're going to buy something that's slightly too small and then feel really pissed off and self conscious.
Yep.
And there's nothing in between. There's not like
Right.
every now and then you'll get that kind of like, this is perfect. And then
But
literally a
it's
day
not gonna last.
big. Yep.
Literally. So when did I message you? I was shopping for jeans. So I had that problem. My clothes were all too big. I had my one pair of jeans that I found in my closet that were my one day I'll wear these jeans.
Yep.
And I was wearing them, which was fantastic, made me super happy. But then I hit the point where even those jeans were too big. And that's just it. You start looking frumpy. You start looking just not put together. Things are hanging on you. So I said, okay, I'm going to go buy just a couple pairs of jeans, like one or two pairs of jeans to get me through a couple shirts. But again, I don't want to go buy all new clothes because I'm still losing. So I bought the jeans and I am wearing one of them right now. I bought them, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks ago, maybe. They don't fit.
Yeah.
They are too big. I'm constantly pulling them up. They're loose, they're hanging. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I just bought these. Like, I'm
Yes.
super happy that I'm making progress and losing weight, but are you shitting me? I just bought these. I have worn them four
Got
times, 4 times, and they now don't fit. And
yeah.
I'm just like, it's funny because it's so frustrating and it makes me so mad. And I'm going to say almost kind of discouraging in a way. But then I sit here going, Steph, you would norm previously, you would have been begging to be in this situation. You would have
Exactly.
been so excited to put on a pair of pants that
I know.
were too big. And now I'm sitting here pissed that my pants are too big. So it's a very weird place to be in. Um, I do have lots of leggings still because some days that's just all that works. But it is it's an awkward experience to go through because you want to be super excited and super happy,
I
but
do.
it's also super frustrating.
Super fucking frustrating. And so like and it will happen to everybody. The in between phase is like the most noticeable phase. So we always kind of say like don't go out and buy a new wardrobe. And
Gosh,
you
no.
know what though, if it makes you happy, like do what makes you happy. But our advice is like you will go buy this brand new wardrobe and continue to lose
Yep.
weight and then be like, I didn't get to wear it. I bought this beautiful winter coat from Costco and I was so excited.
Yep.
It was this DKNY like hunter green coat, and I got to wear it once, and then I was like, you've got to be shitting me. I bought this beautiful red floor length, like double breasted coat.
Yep.
Didn't get to wear it
Right.
once. And I
Right.
was like, no, like I was so mad at myself. And that's when I realized like I should have been thrifting. I should have gotten
Yep.
over this. I shouldn't have spent a great ton of money.
Yep.
I liked buying things that were too small because I liked being able to put them on and then go, whoa. And I
It
still do it. I
fits.
do have something where I'm like,
Yep.
holy cow, it kind of
I
fits,
can do it.
which is so cool. But yeah, the in between phase is the worst. Like now, at least I know I'm also in between sizes right now, which is super
That's
annoying.
tough too.
I'm a 9 right now, and I'm like, nobody makes a 9. You either have to
No.
be a 10 or an 8, and an
Yeah.
8 is like,
I can do it, but
giving me obese flashbacks where I feel like I look really like a sausage and a casing in it. And then a 10 is like, cool, great. Like, look at the space between my butt. Like, you know, I've got
right.
this saggy butt problem now
Yeah.
because it's a little too big. And then you kind of go, oh, I don't like looking like I'm wearing clothes that are too big because that's all I
Right.
was buying when I
And
was.
because you wanna show off and feel with your success, and you wanna feel good in your success.
Yes.
And wearing baggy clothes feels like you're just hiding yourself again.
Yes, and so
Yeah.
that's been a little bit of like a, so the in between phase hits anybody no matter where you're at. And so our advice on this one is um live in leggings. Not a single person's going to judge you. Leggings,
No.
that was the best thing I invested in was like good leggings
Yes.
because man, those will grow and shrink with your body and still look really flattering. Plus they'll hold in the loose skin, the
Yep.
apron belly, the, tight arms where
Saddlebags
yeah. So invest in stretchy clothing, get some belts. Like, hey, you're
and
going to wear
thrift.
belts now and
Thrift.
thrift. But just
Yep.
know we all feel like this. We all went through this. You're going to buy something and never wear it. You're going to
Yep.
buy something and forgot you bought it. And then by the time you can put it on, it's too big. You're going to buy clothes that are small. And that was my advice
Yep.
to Steph too, was if you found something you liked, don't buy it for the body you have right now.
Yep.
Buy it for the body you're going to have soon
Yep.
because you're going to want to wear it. And it feels really weird because you're like, well, why would I buy a small? I will never
Right.
be a small. You will be one day. And
Yep.
so if you really, really like it,
Buy
and
it.
it's not an "I need it right now" thing. Buy it smaller because you
Mhm.
will fit into it, but in your first year, don't invest in winter coats, super fancy
No.
dresses, really nice stuff. Thrift, wear leggings, wear things that will adjust to your body changing, and just know this will end, but also there was a you that dreamed of being in this situation.
Exactly.
Number 7,
Mhm.
this one.
Mm.
An episode on this one, but this
Yep.
one was important to put in here.
This is a good one.
Telling people or not comes with baggage.
Either way. It's such a personal, it's funny because it's such a personal decision, but obviously then we're a little biased because we chose a certain route for a certain reason. Um I think I don't know, for me, and we, like you said, we did a whole episode on this. But for me it came down to accountability as a big reason as to why I put it on social media,
Yeah.
and why I shared it to that extent was
Yes.
because if I put it out there and people knew, then I knew they were going to be expecting results, and I knew that I had to show up because people would be watching. Whether it's because they agreed with it or not, they'd be watching.
Yes.
And part of it for me was to, because I knew I had people in my life who didn't agree with the decision or weren't fully on board, and
Mhm.
that stubborn part of me was like, okay, you watch. You watch, you watch. I'll prove you wrong. I'll show you why. I'll show you I can do it. Um, which again, I think leads into that accountability too, right? So for
Exactly.
me, that was the biggest thing. And then at the end of the day, it was a hard decision. It wasn't like I instantly knew. I thought I struggled with it for a while. But at the end of the day, my thing is people are gonna notice. Like, people knew that I was fat for a long time, and people knew that I was working out and not really seeing results. And if I all of a sudden show up and I'm 100 pounds lighter, well, it's gonna be pretty obvious that I'm 100 pounds lighter, right?
Exactly.
And I don't wanna lie about it.
Exactly. And I think the thing to remember is if you tell them or you don't tell them, there's baggage, right?
Right.
So tell them if you want to tell them. Just know that
Yeah.
there are going to be people who have reactions that you cannot control. So don't let their reaction derail you. They can overreact for a multitude of
Oh
reasons.
my gosh, yes.
You're bettering yourself. People don't like when you better yourself. It is like an inherent reaction. I don't
Yep.
know why it is the way the humans react, but it is the way that a lot of them react.
Yep.
It's not on you, it's more subconscious about them.
Yep.
But if you don't choose to tell people, it's still gonna have baggage. People are
Right.
going to be whispering, making comments, asking about Ozempic, "Are you dying? Do you have an illness?" Like,
Yeah.
it is gonna be what it is. People are curious, they're nosy, they're
Yep.
annoying. You just have to deal with it and move on. Do not let anybody's feedback or comments, whether you hear them or you hear about them, derail your journey.
No.
Everybody goes through this that has bariatric surgery. You do have supporters, but you also do have a lot of criticism and critics, and you know what we say to them? Fuck you, and you move on.
Yep. Yeah. You have
Uh,
to do what's best for you at the end of the day.
everyone has an opinion. They're like assholes. Everyone has an opinion. Choose your circle wisely and gatekeep your journey if it makes sense.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. You have to do what is best for you at the end of the day. And only you know what that is.
Perfect. Number 6. This one's funny, but
Oh
also not
gosh.
funny because
This
it's
could get totally TMI
I know.
depending on
We won't let
depending
it
on
get
how we go.
but number 6 of the 10 things we wish we knew before surgery. Constipation is no friggin' joke.
It's real, folks.
It's
It
no
is
joke.
real.
It's no joke, especially in those early days where you're gonna be like, "Is it normal for a human to not poop for a whole week?"
I never TMI, I never went that long in my life without pooping.
No, same. I
Never.
had the opposite problem before surgery where I was like, "Constipation's not gonna happen to me," and then I was
Not in
like
this life.
I texted my mom being like, "How long am I supposed to go without pooping?" Because
I
like
I googled like when is it dangerous to
yeah,
To not poop.
to not have pooped. So,
Yeah.
like, the one thing you need to remember is, especially, like, before surgery, you're on an all liquid diet, and
Yeah.
then after surgery, you're supposed to be adhering to the rules that you're on another liquid diet while you're healing. So, if your body is only taking in liquid,
And
there
very little, like
there's nothing to form
minuscule.
a poop with.
No.
You're not dying, you don't have impacted bowels,
No.
don't have anything going wrong, you don't need to rush to your doctor and be like, "Oh, no, my bowels must not be working." Just pause and breathe for a hot minute, especially in the first week or 2. Your
Yes.
poop is gonna be weird off, it's not gonna be normal because you're just drinking liquid. If you
Yes.
don't have any excruciating pain and, like, super abnormal bloating below your abdomen, you're probably
You're
okay. We're
fine.
not medical people, so if you think you have an impacted bowel, you go forth and talk to your doctor, but it's
But
super
it's normal.
important to take stool softeners in the first month after surgery, and I
Yes.
know that
They
sounds
well,
crazy.
at at least in our program, like, they sent us home with stool softeners, and then they also prescribe, laxatives. They tell you to drink Metamucil. But yeah, you're only on liquids. You're on like on clear liquids even then, right? So you're having
Yes,
chicken broth and watered down apple juice.
yeah,
You're not putting much sustenance into your body. It's very minimal amounts. So there's nothing to come out.
there's nothing
Um,
to come out.
so no, it's gonna take a while. And I remember I got my like pick up my prescriptions after surgery, got my stool softeners, and then no, I didn't get the stool softeners at first. Devin brought my stuff home and I pulled out my Prevacid and I pulled out everything else. And then he handed me like this bottle of laxative. And I was like, what is this? He's like, oh, this is what the pharmacist gave me. They said you don't need the stool softeners, just use this. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I need to take what like is prescribed. And so I had the follow up appointment, or I made him go back and get the stool softeners. And then I had the
Yes,
follow up appointment on the phone call the next day. And I said, I'm like, yeah, the pharmacy also gave me this. Like, should I take this laxative instead of the stool softeners? And I remember the lady saying, like, no, like, let's start small. Like, we don't need to go right for the cannon when we can start with the
exactly.
water gun. But I remember, right? I remember being worried too because I'm like, okay, it's been days, like nothing's coming here. And then I remember them saying, they explained it and basically saying, like, there's nothing, your body's not pulling anything out of this liquid to eliminate from your body. So don't worry if you're not going like you used to go. Um,
Exactly.
it's
That's super
totally,
normal.
and it's also the anesthetic from
Yes,
surgery messes with your body, the
absolutely.
stress, the inflammation,
Please
all
listen
the
to them
things.
when they tell you to go buy fiber, like, you
Yeah.
absolutely need to buy fiber. So
Yeah.
that's the advice here is, like, I had to run out and buy the Metamucil, which does not taste good, but you need
Mm-mm.
to have it and be putting it into your clear liquids, which you are allowed to do, but buy the Metamucil, you are
It'll
going
help
to
so
need
much.
it. Take your stool softeners, no joke on those, take them. And again, if you're suffering, call your doctor and talk to them, but just know poop is gonna become the new normal thing that you talk about in those first couple of months.
Every appointment, have you pooped?
It doesn't matter if you did not have that habit before, you will now have constipation. Like, do not think that you will be unique and special. Doesn't matter what your bowel habits looked like before.
Yep.
Congratulations, these are going to be different. And if you don't take those stool softeners and fiber,
You're
you're
gonna
going to
pay for
have
it.
the worst pain.
You'll be crying in the bathroom. You'll be
Yeah.
crying in the
So,
bathroom.
number 5, your taste buds will betray you.
Yes.
This one is so true.
It's
This
so true, and that's why we tell people all the time, like, don't stock up on food pre-surgery
don't.
because and it's not like some people's taste buds will stay the same. Not everybody's will change, but there is this thing that happens where certain things don't taste the same, or they don't have the same flavor, or they don't feel the same. They don't bring you the same bring you the same joy that they used to bring you. There's a lot of people too who, they used to have a really big sweet tooth and now they don't. Or they
Exactly.
used to crave sweet and now they crave salty. So that's why we always say don't stock up pre-surgery on certain kinds of protein shakes or certain kinds of Gatorade or whatever it may be. Buy a little bit because there's going to be things that you are going to try that
Exactly.
you're not going to like anymore.
That protein shake that you're obsessed with now, you will hate it. I know a lot of friends are going to be like, "Oh, hey, I bought like good protein. Come here, try it. I love it. It's my favorite." It doesn't matter if you love it right now before surgery. I can guarantee you, you will just hate it after surgery. And it can be things that aren't even protein. It could be carrots, eggs, certain types of
Yeah.
there
Yep.
are just going to be things that you're like, so my example is always Crystal Light before surgery was the most disgusting shit I've ever had in my life. And I would tell people how disgusting it was. And I never understood how people liked Crystal Light. I am now obsessed with it, like fly through boxes of Crystal Light a
Yeah.
month because I think it's the best tasting thing I've ever had. There
Right?
are definitely things that you will just no longer be able to palate because your taste buds have completely changed. For some
Yeah.
people, it's vegetables. For some people, it's other things. For me, red meat is just no longer something that is
Yeah.
craving or sitting super well. But there's a lot of other things that I really like now that honestly, like I'm really into spicy things. We'll talk about it if we have time, if we do a bonus round. But yeah, just know do not buy things before surgery. Do not stock up on them. I can't stress enough how much your taste buds change. It's a weird phenomenon, a very weird one, but
Yep.
what you think you like now, you will not leave surgery liking. And I cannot stress enough when it comes to protein. Do not load up on the $90 bag of protein from Costco and protein bars
Oh
because
gosh, no.
you probably will not like these post surgery.
No. It's funny. I had we talk about protein bars a lot. And I don't think I told you this because it was just the other day. Um I had a Bear Bell, and I hadn't had a Bear Bell in ages, and I loved them. Pre-surgery, anyone who would go to Trader Joe's, I would get them to buy me like a bag of Bear Bells. I
Yep.
had one the other day. Couldn't finish it.
No, can't do it.
Could not finish it.
Same boat. Can't eat them.
Spicy food, can't do it anymore.
I'm obsessed.
I can do
Yeah.
like a minimal, like I can do Franks, but
Yep.
anything above Franks, can't do it anymore.
Burn spice.
Lamb. We used to eat lamb like at special occasions at Easter and stuff. I had lamb at Easter and I was so excited because I hit my 6 months. I could have red meat again.
Yep.
I had lamb and it smelled so good. It was my mom's lamb. I love it.
Yep.
Had 3 bites. Game over. Nope. Didn't like it. Didn't taste the same.
Yep.
Couldn't do it. So yeah, just don't go bananas thinking you're gonna stock up. You have to trial and error.
You're
Trial and
also
error.
not special, so if you think it's not gonna happen to you, it will. If you have somebody who's had surgery that's like, "No, not like" again, don't. They are the rare, rare,
Yeah.
rare, rare exception to this rule. Also, what influencers promote is not what they usually use, and American tastes are completely different than Canadian tastes. They grew up on a lot of artificial sweeteners and sugars, and they like things very, very sweet in the States, where I find in Canada we don't. So, I do not and cannot have a lot of the protein that you see these bariatric influencers promote. We've taste tested them, we've tried them, and Lord Almighty, they are just not great. So, yeah,
Yep.
your taste buds are going to betray you. So just know that going into it, and know that there's going to be things that you will be
Things will
buying.
change. Yep.
Number 4. This one was, I don't know, maybe controversial, but not because I agree with it.
Yep.
Food funerals are real, and you
Yep.
actually don't need them. I agree
Mm.
with this one. You don't
You
need
agree with
it.
that one?
This
Yep.
trend of, "Oh, I'm
Going
gonna do my
bananas.
big hurrah, the Last Supper. I have to"
Yeah.
like, the mindset of I have to mourn what I'm giving up is a
No.
terrible mindset to go into this surgery with.
And
It's
it
not
goes
the
back
right
to the whole stereotypes of this surgery of and I have people ask me this all the time, "Are you gonna have to eat like this forever?" And I'm like, "First of all," and it was mainly during the first 6 months when there are certain restrictions of food you cannot eat, at
correct,
least for our program, right?
correct.
And so I explained to people, "No, it's just right now I cannot have a hamburger or red meat or whatever it is." And once that's over, and this is a hot topic too, and people have different views on it, but in theory, we'll say physically speaking, you can eat everything you ate pre-surgery. Physically speaking. Now, should you? That's a different story. But you can eat everything. You can't eat super sugary or super fatty, especially if you had bypass, because you could get dumping syndrome. But in the
Mhm.
grand scheme of things, I've seen people too. I saw a video the other day of this girl who was having surgery, and so she went out the week before her pre-op diet started, and she had pizza and poutine and nachos and all the things because she said, "I I'm gonna miss them after surgery." And I was sitting there going, why? Like, you
Yeah,
can have some poutine, you can have some pizza, you can have some nachos. Are you gonna have them to the same extent you had them before?
you're
You
not.
shouldn't. Are
Yep,
you maybe gonna make some swaps? Sure.
yep.
But nothing is off. Like, it's not a diet. And it goes back to the good food, bad food discussion we've had before. But nothing is off the table. Like, you don't have to go into it with this mindset of, "I have to eat this now because 'cause I'll never have it again." No, you just probably won't have a whole medium pizza to yourself because
Correct.
you shouldn't. Um, but my kids had where were we the other day? We were at some event, and one of them have had a poutine. Did I have 2 bites of the poutine? Sure did. But then was I fine? Yep. Like, it's this whole mentality of, "I can never have this again." That's not the mindset you wanna have, because that's what's gonna lead you to fail. That's what's gonna lead you to the bin. That's what's
Exactly.
gonna lead you to that,
And
"Oh, I shouldn't have ever had surgery,"
I know you
yada,
wanna
yada.
have the funeral and you wanna mourn the things
Yeah.
and you wanna have that last hurrah, and I wanna eat this thing that I'm not gonna be able to have again, and, like, I do get it. There will be a lengthy period of time before you can have some of this food again,
Yep.
but just be cautious because you're subconsciously setting up a notion of good food versus bad food, but also
Yep.
this kind of like, I am obsessed and hooked on this so much that I have to mourn the loss of it. Because then what that turns into is craving and craving and
Yep.
craving and the inability to think about anything but food.
Right.
So I didn't do a feud funeral. I didn't do anything like that. I think I had a chicken delight from Penalty Box in Windsor, and I just remember thinking like, "Oh, we haven't had that in a while. Be kind of cool to have one of those." And it
Yeah.
wasn't a food funeral. It was because I probably can't have this again for a bit. So, and I haven't had one yet, but like probably going to get one when I go home for my dad's birthday. I won't be able to eat the whole thing, but there's no
Right.
reason you can't have a chicken pita. But
Right.
yes, you will be able to eat normally again. You will be able to eat things again. What you have to be cautious of is in moderation. Don't turn these into like, I can't live without them foods. And also, don't have a mournful funeral for food. Go into this in a celebratory. What
Yes.
I did before surgery was a good friend offered to do a photo shoot with me. And she said, I want to do a photo shoot of you so that you can have these for after. And then after surgery, we should do a follow up photo shoot. And so I
Yeah.
did a lot of like celebratory, like I
Yes.
celebrated myself. I took the photos. I
Yeah.
talked about being excited for surgery. I got the house ready. I actually bought pre or post surgery clothes,
Yeah.
as in like this is going to be my like recovery outfit from Puma. It was cute and I wanted it. So I had something to put on when I got home and look forward to it. So you do
Yeah.
you, but just know that your life doesn't revolve around food after surgery. And I think having a food funeral can do more harm than good.
Agreed.
And there's probably just a better way to spend your time before surgery. It's my last thought on that one.
Nope. Totally agree.
Um, number 3. Okay, the first week
Uh-oh.
post-op might suck. Yep,
You know what?
it might.
It
It might
might.
not.
I'm gonna say it didn't for
Yep.
me.
For
It
some
didn't.
people, it might. You might have pain, regret. Regret can set in for some people. Like,
It's
what did I get myself into? Is
yes.
this how I'm gonna eat for the rest of my life? I can't
Yep.
survive like this.
It's tough in the sense, I think, of, for me at least, it was tough, um, trying to hit my hydration goals. That was tough. Just getting into a new routine, having my little sip of 1 ounce every 15 minutes and tracking that.
Mhm.
But realistically, looking back on it, I chilled on the couch, I watched TV, I went for my little walks around the driveway, hung out. Um, it wasn't tough. It was different. It was an
Yeah.
adjustment, I'll say that. It was an adjustment. Um, but I don't remember sitting there being like, "Oh my god, this is so hard."
I also didn't have regrets in the first week. I
No.
was really excited. I was moving, I was
Yeah.
walking, grooving. I knew that
Yep.
this wasn't gonna be life forever, but also I didn't care because I was no longer hungry. I didn't wanna
Yep.
binge eat, like, I felt good. However, this could be what happens to you as well, but if it doesn't, please know that that's okay too.
Right.
It is okay for you to have pain, to have
Yep.
regret, for you to wake up and say, "Oh my god, what did I just do to myself? I don't
Yep.
think I can handle this." Like, that is normal. So while Steph and I tell you we had a different experience, it is so overwhelmingly normal to cry, to regret your decision, to
Yep.
feel like it's really too much and how am I gonna do it? That's such normal human behavior. It's a huge amount of anxiety. Breathe, because this
Yeah.
won't be your life forever. We'll help you get through it. Others will help you get through
Yep.
it. But just remember to breathe. Sip your water, try to walk a little, cry if you need to, sleep and recover and recharge. And just know that what you're going through is temporary, even if you're
Yes.
going through the worst of it, even if it's vomit or pain, it is so temporary. And that if you talk to people post op after a year or 2 years, the overwhelming percentage, like 99% of them all say, I have zero fucking regrets and wish I did this sooner. So just remember that when you are stuck a few months post op or a few weeks post op and you're feeling regret, most people do, and that's totally okay.
Yeah.
But once they get to a year post op, every single one of those people say, I wish I did this sooner. I have no regrets. This was the best thing I did for myself. So
Yeah.
you can get through this. And if it's no pain and awesome, or if there's pain and regret, both are super normal in your first week. So just
Yep.
know that the first week might suck. It might not be like
Yeah.
Steph and I, and there's
Yep.
nothing wrong with you and nothing has gone wrong. It's just normal.
Everybody's experience is their own, right? It's
Yep.
individual thing. And that does not to say that there weren't hard days or hard moments. But I think, as I've said before, overall, this this surgery was, I'm going to say, compared to what I thought in my head, a walk in the park, because I was so stressed about the surgery. But like we said with number 10, that's just the start of the journey, right? It's the stuff that comes afterwards where you have to put in the work and the effort and the changes happen and things start to go. But everybody's journey is their own, and that's okay. There are no two paths or journeys that are going to look exactly the same.
Exactly. Number 2, the pre-op diet will test every
Oh
ounce
my
of your will.
gosh. It's okay. This sucked.
This
The
sucks.
week the week after surgery, totally
Yep.
cool.
This was the
The
worst.
pre-op liquid diet sucked.
Absolutely sucked. It will test
There's no nice way to put it.
of your willpower. And
Yep.
just remember, it's not about weight loss. So the whole goal of the pre-op diet is not that you start dropping pounds or because they
No.
need you to lose weight. It's literally just to shrink your liver so it's out of the way for surgery. So for some of you, that's 4 weeks. For some of you, it's 2. Doesn't matter because we all feel the same. We're fucking grumpy. We're fucking cranky, and we're going to break and eat what we want to eat. So one thing I'll say is people cheat on this diet. It happens. Don't beat yourself up. I personally think it's normal. I ate dill pickles. I also made scrambled eggs. I couldn't do it. I started to fucking lose my mind and break down, and I had
Yep.
to. It did not impact my surgery. I'm not advocating you don't follow the rules. I'm just saying if you break, please be kind to yourself because I think literally everybody broke. I find some people are just, pious and great and didn't, but the vast majority of us have had a moment, especially because we've never in our life had to do this and we haven't had surgery yet. So we are bodies that have been used to consuming 3 to 4,000 calories a day now being put onto a 900 calorie liquid only diet,
Yeah.
and the shakes suck. Yeah, you're going to hit a day where you're like, I don't give a fuck. I'm
Hmm.
making scrambled eggs. And that was me. Dill pickles are 0 calorie, by the way. So if you want to eat them dill pickles, I recommend it. It's a good crunch. It's got sodium. Some clinics will let you have sugar free jello, bone broth, and dill pickles or celery because they're 0 sugar and it's still going to help shrink your liver. But
Ours
the
did not.
hardest fucking part about this whole journey was the
Yeah,
two
it's the
week
pre-op.
pre op diet.
Yeah. So just to because I know programs are different. Our program was 2 weeks of
For some,
OptiFast for some.
for some,
Um,
it's 4 in our
yeah,
program.
was two for us 2 weeks of OptiFast drinks. And then you could have water, you could have decaf coffee or herbal tea. And that was it. So it was prepackaged shakes. You could add flavoring to them, meaning like vanilla extract, maple extract. You couldn't add fruit, you couldn't add that kind of stuff. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna toot my own horn. I did not cheat on mine. I almost did a couple times. There
I
were a couple times when I remember sitting there. I said, there's one in particular. I remember sitting on the couch and I was just like head in my hands, sitting there. And Devin looks at me, he's like, "Are you okay?" And I just remember looking at him being like, "I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it." And he's like, "Just go have something." And I was like, "Nope." I'm like, I'm gonna prove to my, I'm not gonna do it. Nope. But I remember sitting there just being like, I cannot do this because I had cut out coffee. You're not having sugar. You're only having, I think it's 900 calories when you add it all up. You're tired. You are, oh, I was so snippy. I was so snippy and short tempered. You're grouchy. You have headaches. Like, it's not fun. It's not fun. Um, so I remember that being significantly harder than the week after. And I remember too, like, you trying to mix these gross drinks with flavors. And then, like, we talked about the orange creamsicle one. I was like,
Yeah.
this is gonna be so good. And then you make it and it's disgusting, but you have to drink it because you only have so many shakes and you're not giving up one of those shakes to go down to only 3 shakes a day. Definitely not. So I remember a couple times too sitting there and just having to drink these things that, man, they were not, they were no bueno. But if you can get through that, and even if you, I can't say, even if you have the pickles and the eggs and whatever, it's not going to ruin your progress. It's not going to ruin your surgery.
Correct. So
It's
just
not like they're going to go in there and be like, oh,
they
she
won't.
had scrambled eggs last week. Surgery's over.
You shouldn't be eating pizza and full meals. You
Yes.
shouldn't be replacing shakes with meals.
Yes.
Just know that like having a bite of something here and there
It's
because you're
not gonna
struggling is
it's
normal.
not gonna derail your
The
surgery.
hardest part of your journey will be the 2-week liquid diet.
Oh
You'll start
gosh, yeah.
strong, but you will waver. You will have moments of
Yeah.
being tired, being cranky,
Yep.
not wanting to drink those motherfucking shakes anymore. So just know I absolutely agree with that taking the number 2 spot. I wish someone had prepared me for how hard that was going to
Uh,
be and
but
how
yeah.
much I just needed to take my mind off things, but also the more busy you are does not do anything about the hunger. It doesn't really
No.
help. If anything, I should have just taken time off work to just maybe sit around the house and play video games or just like have a passion
Yeah.
project. Busying myself with friends and activities actually did nothing. It didn't help. It made me more hungry.
Yep.
Um, so do what you got to do to get through it, but just know, yes, we all had a really hard time with it. Yes, it's a struggle. No, that's not what surgery is like because you are pre-op at that point. After surgery, you don't have that insatiable, undeniable, I'll eat the
Yeah.
cat if I have to
It
craving.
was the hardest part, hands
Um,
down. Hands
yeah,
down. If you can make it through the pre-op, you're in my mind, you're good. You can
perfect.
do it. You can do it.
The number one thing. So, the top 10 things we wish we knew before surgery. Number one. And
Yep.
two and one were kind of a toss up, but it's more mental than physical. You are not,
1,000%.
you are not just losing weight, guys. Guys and gals. You're not
1,000%.
just losing weight. You are literally trying to rewrite for some of us 20, 30, 40 years of habits, coping mechanisms, and our entire identity.
I can almost guarantee when you are, I'm not even going to say done this because I'm only 6 months out. I'm nowhere near done. You will not be the same person you were when you started.
No.
Um, and now, I mean, there are some people who, as we've seen, take this surgery for granted. They think it's a magic pill.
Yep.
I'm not looping those people into this because they clearly are not doing what needs to be done. But if you are following the guidelines and the rules you were given, if you are making the changes that you need to make, you are becoming a whole new person. You
Mhm.
are, like Hannah said, you're rewriting years of bad habits, of history. The surgery does not, I talked about this on my Instagram yesterday. The surgery does not affect your brain. The surgery doesn't get rid of the food noise. The surgery doesn't fix your relationship with food. It doesn't fix your binge eating, your boredom eating. It
Nope.
doesn't fix looking in the mirror and telling yourself you're fat and you're ugly. That
Correct.
that is all on you. That is all additional work that has to be done. Yes,
Exactly. So
yeah, like
it's
it's so much more.
so much more than just losing weight.
Yeah.
The losing weight is moving your body, the exercise, the eating, but that is almost the easiest part to this. Like,
Yeah.
first of all, therapy is not optional. It is
No.
absolutely something that you need to invest in and have when you're going through this because we did not just become obese overnight. You've heard me say this. You didn't just catch an obesity disease and then you were fat and you had no control over it. It is our eating habits, it's our coping habits, it's our social life. Like, even it has nothing to do with being depressed or happy or anything. Like, it's how you celebrate. It's how you
Yeah.
show love. You'll often hear people say, "Oh, I show love through
Oh
food.
my
I show
gosh,
love through
totally
bacon."
new.
Like, I get
Yeah.
that, but you
That's
definitely need
new.
to find a new way to show people how you care because
Yeah.
a lot of that has gotten you where you are, and it just kind of perpetrates this notion that food is
The
love.
center of
Food
everything.
Food is for depression, food is for happiness, food is for celebration, food is for grief, food is for love, food is for like you have to rewire your way of thinking. And you'll even see people who are pre-op getting together, or even some that are early days post-op, and it's like, well, everyone's going to bring something to eat, right? And it's like, that's some of the things that you have to deal with. Is why is it every time you hang out with your friends there needs to be
Yeah.
food? Why is everything we do involved eating? And not even just like it's eating all the time, right? So there's a lot of things that you have to learn to set boundaries on for the first time in your life that you usually have never done. You have to
Yep.
be cautious of slider foods and maybe make decisions not to keep them in the house anymore. Like it's not
Yeah.
easy. The
No.
coping mechanisms is the hardest thing that people cope like find dealing with here.
Yeah.
If you're celebrating, it's not with food. If you're depressed, shouldn't be with food. If
You're bored.
you're
Find something
grieving,
to do.
food. If you're bored, food. And like, so for me, a big thing was when I would play video games. I would bring a bunch of stuff onto the couch and load up, and like I would get so excited about playing video games. And I would find myself after surgery being like, "Oh my god, I'm going to sit down and play video games tonight." And instantly my mind would be like, "So I should get
Book
snacks."
snacks. Yeah.
And like because you get an instant
Yeah.
endorphin rush. You get like, "Oh, the cortisol's spiking and I'm so excited about being able to do this." And then it's like,
Yep.
I don't need snacks to play video games with the guys and to have a good time. Or my
Yeah.
snacks should look different. It's now, cucumber slices and cottage cheese, and maybe it's a protein drink. Like there are just things that I had to realize, like I paired dopamine hits and feeling really good with wanting food,
Yeah.
or working out with rewarding myself with food.
Yes.
Boredom. I was a boredom eater.
Me
When I
too.
was
Big
bored,
time.
let's eat. You must be hungry. So I do that test, right? If I'm craving, like, let's go get Doritos. Okay, well, if you're hungry, just have an apple, and if you
We
don't
do
want
the
the
apple
apple,
test
you're
too.
not hungry, you're
Yeah.
craving or you're bored. So,
Yeah.
this is the hardest part. The physical part, you think will be the hardest, it's not. Moving my body is so easy now, and getting out is something I love to do, and it's so instinctively a part of my day.
Yeah.
Meal prepping, calorie counting, the
Yeah.
mental side of things, especially when something hits you. So, it's a bit easier when it's you and you're but then you get sick, or someone passes away, God forbid, or work gets really stressful, or you break up with someone. You'll often see posts on Reddit of people who have gained all their weight back or fallen off, and they're like, I don't know how this happened. And so Reddit will dig in and say, well, and they'll say things like, well, I lost my job, or my significant other broke up with me,
Yeah.
or, my
There's some
pet.
big life event.
There's something that triggers this zero caring, because you think you can't gain weight anymore. And the truth is you can. And once you start that slippery slope, your body wants to immediately, and your mind wants to go back to
Mhm.
old you. Your mind will betray you because it really wants you to go back to your old eating habits, to
Yeah.
your old coping mechanisms. This is why you need a
A lot
therapist.
of work.
It takes a very long time to rewire your brains. Ask anyone who suffers from depression or anxiety or OCD, like they are trying to rewire their logical pathways, because they shouldn't have anxiety over certain things, but it's not as easy as just saying don't be anxious about this. They have to learn a new way of thinking so that
Yep.
their body doesn't react anxiously to those triggers. The same goes for everybody listening that's about to have surgery or has had surgery. You can't just will your way out of these things. You literally need to build new coping mechanisms, relationships with food, and lifestyle changes. And that might mean that you have to be the person that says, hey guys, do we have to go out for dinner? Could we go for a walk? Could we go bowling? Could we do something that doesn't revolve around food?
Yeah.
Because my life can't revolve around food anymore. I'm trying to build new identities and pathways.
Yeah, I'm also the person that will bring my own food. So, if I am going somewhere and I know that food is gonna be a thing, I'll bring my protein bar or I'll bring my Baby Bell and whatever. I will make sure that I have good choices prepared to keep me on track. But
Yeah.
yeah, like boredom eating for sure. There's reasons why we ended up in the position we are. And like Hannah said, we didn't get there every night. Habits are hard to build and habits are hard to break. And once they are so ingrained in you, undoing those years of wiring is so difficult. And like the surgeon said, the first year of the surgery is my gift to you because you will lose weight. But it's all the other stuff that is on you. And it's all the other work that if you're not prepared to do it, and that's why we say it's not a magic pill. If you think you're just going to have this surgery and everything in your life is going to be fixed,
It's not.
you're not ready for the surgery.
No. And this is why this made number 1 on the list of the 10 things that we wish we knew before surgery. Um, that literally the hardest part of this will be the mental journey, not the physical. Because I think maybe I speak for myself, but I think being obese to me, the thing was like the hardest thing to me seemed like the movement and maybe the
Yeah.
dieting. I was like, oh, that's going to be the hardest part. And it's like, no, man, it's giving up your old habits because boy,
Mhm.
when people tell you that the old habits come back hard, they absolutely do. Like
Yeah.
you're going to be doing well and thinking that nothing can take you down. And then
And then
all
all
of
of a sudden,
you're gonna be like, "Uh-oh, why am I craving this? Uh-oh, why did I eat that? Oh no, like it's
yeah,
so easy to go back to old habits, and that's why regain is so popular. It's not
yeah,
popular, it's a horrible way to say it, but why regain is so prevalent in this community because I tell Steph all the time, I think this is the hardest year for me post-surgery. This
yeah,
is the regain can happen to a lot of people in this year. If you can make it through this year, you're probably, really established well. But like this is the hardest because I realize like I can kind of eat whatever I want to eat, still in
yeah.
small sizes, but like I could fall off the wagon really easily,
Oh
like
my gosh, yeah.
really easily at this
Yeah,
and just start gaining weight. So
yeah,
and it's really easy to also be like, I don't need to work out as much as I did. Like, I already lost all the weight. I can be kind of lax about working out. I don't need to walk every day. And like, that's what happens. These little
slippery
tiny things
slopes.
start sneaking in where you're like, but I've already lost all the weight. I can eat this.
I
It's
already
not
did the
a big
work.
and it's like, sure, you could eat it, but are you eating it once a month? Or is it now like, oh, every week I've had it? So, my gelato story. I get the little tiny, like thimble kids cup of gelato once a month. I allow myself to take my neighbor and go, do you want to get gelato? If I didn't keep an eye on that, I could guarantee you I'd be eating gelato every friggin' day.
Right?
So I know to some people they're going to be like, that sounds horrible. Not really. The gelato's great. It's a treat. I know it's a trigger for me. I try to keep on track and make sure because it's really easy for all of this bad habits to come back in.
Oh
You can
gosh,
eat
yeah.
out
That's why
more, you can
tracking is important
exercise
too.
less.
Because
Yep,
then you think, "Well, I don't have to track my food anymore. I
because
know
I'm
what I'm
good. It's
doing. I'm
fine.
fine." And then
You're not.
before you know it, you're back because people think when you have surgery, you can't eat anymore.
Yeah, that's
That's
not it.
that's not the case.
Yeah,
100% not true, or there would be no regain.
yeah.
So, if you
Forever.
hit that
You're
point.
skinny forever.
Right, you hit that point, you're like, "I'm good, I had my surgery, my weight's off, I did the work, I can just cruise now," and then before you know it, you're eating 3,000 calories a day, 3,500 calories a day, and we're right back to where we started.
Correct. So that's the big thing you need to keep in mind here is it's not magic. You absolutely positively can go back to eating exactly the way you did before.
Old
And a
habits
lot
die
of you are
hard.
gonna be like, but I didn't eat bad before. Stop it.
Mm,
There's a reason that we
bye-bye.
were obese. Okay. We're not a little overweight. We were obese and there's a reason. And if you want to pretend like it's because of something else, like it's calories in, calories out. It is your eating habits.
I
There
didn't
are other
get to a size 22 eating salad.
yeah, I didn't get to a
Let's
size
be real.
224 because I was still eating 1,200 calories a day and, like, it
Right?
was my it
But
was my
I was eating
PCOS.
fine.
Come on, guys. So,
Own
just
it.
this is why you need to talk to a therapist, you need to have some hard truths with yourselves, and you need to just be a little brutally honest with yourself because if you don't address these things and you don't start calling them out for what they are, the mental side of this surgery is what will bring
It'll get
you
you. It will
down.
break you.
Yeah.
It will break you.
Because you'll be back to eating normally way quicker than you think. There are people who are at 1,000 calories 3 months after surgery, and they go, "Oh, whoa," and
Crazy.
it's like, "Yep," and, like, that's fine, you do your own path, but the speed at which you can get back and there are plenty of people after surgery who are still eating over 2,000 calories because of their workout, and they're still maintaining, but you'll see a ton of people who go, "Well, my average calories per day are 1,800 to 2,300." So you can
Yeah.
absolutely get back to eating high calorie and gain the weight back. So just trust us when we say the physical side is not the hard side. The mental side, the coming to terms with how you got here side, the being brutally honest about your lifestyle and not allowing those old patterns to come in. And the ones that you have to watch are the ones that aren't negative. So I think we can always catch, like, I don't need to eat when I'm depressed. Great. It's the other ones where it's like, well, love for me is baking. Love is giving people food. I care for people through food.
Yeah. Oh,
Those are
you
the
got a good
ones
report card? Let's go out for dinner.
yeah, because, you
Yeah.
have to watch the positive ones you associate with food almost more
Mhm.
because love is a lot of things, but it doesn't have to be baking and it doesn't have to be cooking, because you also have to start to realize, like, would you be eating that like 1700 calorie cake that you just baked for your loved ones because that's how you show love? Or, are you not eating that because it's super high in sugar and fat and calories? Like, my parents don't have to change their eating habits at all, but my mom said we want to. We actually didn't realize like how much junk food we kept in the house, how much sugar we
Mhm.
were eating. Like, they
Yep.
didn't realize how much they were eating out, and they were like, "That's if it's not good for you, it's probably not good for us
Right.
either." And I was
We
like, "Yeah." So I don't bring desserts home for them anymore. I used to bring donuts, or I'd go to the
Yeah.
fancy bakery. Like, I don't buy them cake and stuff like that anymore because I know, like, if I'm not gonna eat it, that's
Right.
not how I show love anymore. I show love by
Yep.
showing up, by going
Like,
out, by
doing
doing things. So
activities, spending
that
time together.
that's my advice, is just watch the social eating, and then watch associating eating with positive, like, I don't know, I think the people who associate food and giving food with love will have the hardest time giving it up, because they see it as such a positive and a blessing, and it's not that it isn't, it's that
There's so
be
many more
cautious.
yeah. There's so many other things that are just as important and can be just as much.
And
And
food
yeah.
isn't just about weight loss, right? Like, it's
No.
not it's it helps with mental function, it helps with other
Yeah.
things. So, like, my parents are not overweight, there's nothing wrong with them eating dessert, but, my dad has some health issues, and my parents are getting older, so should they really
Yeah.
be eating a ton of sugary junk food?
Not really.
Probably not great for their long-term health either. So there's a lot of things that aren't just related to weight here. There's blood pressure,
Just
blood sugar,
overall health.
cardiac health, right? So that's the thing. Just watch your eating habits and the mental side of things. That's what can derail people pretty quick with surgery, and that's the side that nobody really invests in. And I know it's easier in Canada than the States. I know that
Yep.
access to good mental health is hard, but if there's one thing you should buy, it's not a personal trainer, it's not a nutritionist, it's a therapist. You need to have someone help you go through this journey.
1000%. Yep.
Okay, we'll end on a really quick one. Bonus segment. So that was our top 10 things we wish
Yep.
we knew before bariatric surgery. What's the weirdest thing that changed for you post surgery?
The weirdest thing. Physically,
Nope.
mentally,
Could be physically, mentally, could be a love of new food, could
I'm
be,
I'm gonna go with this. We talked about this. The stomach sounds.
yeah, that's fun. That
And
was fun.
so I am legitimately nervous. I have not gone into so I work from home.
Yep.
My team will say is based in Toronto. So whenever we get together like once a quarter, it's at the office in Toronto.
Yes.
I have not been to the office since surgery because the last one we had was in the winter and the weather here was absolutely crap.
Yep.
And I'm like legitimately nervous to go into the office because we go for the day and we sit in a meeting room and do
Yep.
our team like QBR, right?
Yes.
So for me, and a lot of people who have surgery have this, your stomach makes noises like you have never heard before. And
Correct.
they are loud. Like
Loud.
when I tell you Devin can hear it across the room loud. And he'll just look at me and be like, "Really?" Or he'll look at me and be like, "Excuse you," and I'll be like, "That's my stomach. It's not me. Like I didn't.
Can't control
It's
it.
not me." So I'm
Can't
legitimately
control it.
like nervous to go to the office for the first time because I'm gonna have to be like, guys. Like, I'm sorry.
I get that.
We're gonna have lunch and I'm gonna be drinking. Tea makes me gurgle a
Yeah,
lot.
I get that.
Tea really makes me gurgle. But yeah, your stomach makes some crazy
Yours
ass
is
loud sounds.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one. Mine is gonna be an interesting one. My hair has
Yep.
changed.
Yep.
So hair loss is a thing, and trust me, I'm also going through another round of hair loss, and
Yeah.
it does come back. But my hair is now insanely wavy, and it never really used to look
Yep.
like this, but like it is. And Steph can see me, even though we're not recording, but like video. But it
Yep.
is, I don't even know how to describe it, and I'm happy about it, I must say it's a good
Yeah.
change. It
Yeah.
is this wavy, luscious,
Yep.
I don't know how this happened, but, like, my hair has completely changed texture. It is no longer like this frizzy thing, it's this wavy, I love it, but it's so weird how that and it's red.
Yeah.
So it's got like a different texture and hue to it. So that was the weirdest thing that changed after
Love
surgery. It
it.
took a while to get here, and I was like, I'm gonna be bald, and my hair's never gonna grow back because like it grew so slow after surgery, and
Yeah.
now I'm like, damn, like, is
She's
this my
here.
hair? Because like I love looking at it now, like,
Awesome.
and you guys have seen it in episodes and on my
Yep.
Instagram and stuff. Like it's just this bushy, wavy, wild Carrie Bradshaw hair.
Love
So
it.
that
I'm
was super
here for
weird
it.
to me.
It is weird.
Also, I really like spicy dill pickles now. Can't
Oh,
explain
I
why, but
love dill
I'm eating
pickles.
them by the jar. Like spicy dill pickles are now my
You got to
fucking.
send me a picture of the ones that you're eating.
Yes, I will post it on Instagram for everyone
'Cause I
listening
love dill
too, but, like,
pickles.
I legitimately can't stop eating spicy dill pickles. Spicy food is now just I crave it, which is really weird, but yeah, I love it. That's the weirdest things that changed for us
Yep.
post-surgery. We wanna hear from anybody who had surgery, what's the weirdest thing that changed for you? And then we wanna hear from anybody pre-surgery, what do you think? Did we miss anything on the list? Are there things that you're anxious about or excited about? It's not always bad. This list had some funny, good things too. So just know that we don't regret the surgery. We
Nope.
wished we did it sooner. And these are the things that just would have prepared us a little better, but in no way would any of these things stopped us from doing it.
Nope.
So we want
Nope.
to hear from you. Leave some comments. Let us know. Um, and what you want us to cover and talk about. Who should we invite on? Who should we interview? What topics do you want to see us cover? We still have a lot of great ones coming up, like dating and relationships
Mhm.
and just some other really cool ones coming up. So let us know. And let us know what you'd like us to taste test. That was a cool one that came up.
That
We
was a
do
good
want
one.
to do a protein taste test. We want to try some of these
Mhm.
popular influencer things and let you know if they're worth it or not worth it, because I think
Yeah.
we're all questioning is good protein good? Is clean, simple eats a good protein? Spoiler, it's not. I've tried it. Is this a good, are those candies any good? Is,
Mhm.
Smart Sweets better than
Protein
Lent?
bars.
Quest better than so we're gonna do a whole series. We'll try protein bars and rate them. We'll try protein, clear protein, milk protein. So let
Yep.
us know what have you seen? What are you curious about? What do you want us to try? And we'll give you our honest opinion on if it's worth it or not.
Love
Because
it.
we are not affiliated with anybody.
Right? So we can talk shit about whatever we want.
We're gonna talk shit.
I love it.
So, like always, thank you guys for listening along. We love you. We love our fans so friggin' much. Please
Yeah.
keep talking to us. We love your stories and your comments. We love messaging you on social. And let us know what you want to see. We want to build our socials around what you want. So let us know if it's hot takedowns, trials, tests, what we eat in a day. And just know I will be back on Instagram soon. I've started a new job
She's a little
kind of
busy.
while I still have another job. So I'm trying to transition out of my old job,
Yeah.
roll into my new job, which is a really, really fun, exciting thing I'll talk about soon, and have a big vacation coming up. So I'm just a bit busy and stressed, but I will be posting on Instagram more as soon as I,
Crazy month.
get
Crazy.
everything settled at this new job.
Yeah, stay tuned on Instagram because we're both Hannah and I. May is a crazy month. We got lots coming up. We both
Lots
have
coming up.
vacation. We both have trips.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
Actually, yeah, if you're an American, Steph is going to the west coast of Canada and I'm going to the east coast of Canada. So if you've ever wanted to see what those two provinces look like, we will document our time in Nova Scotia, and for Steph, Alberta, more specifically.
Woo woo.
I'm going to my family cottage, but I'll still document the cool shit we do while we're
Yes.
there. But yeah, we'll kind of document our little vacations and things
Yeah.
like that. But like always, we just love you guys so much. So thank you for making this what
Amazing.
it is. We wouldn't be doing this without you guys.
No, you guys are the best.
Awesome. And like always, Steph, thanks for talking with me today.
Anytime.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.